Hello students, welcome to this online biology class. In our previous class we have learned about proteins and fats in food. So today we will be learning how to test for proteins and fats in food. So let's start with proteins.
PR is aimed at explaining how to conduct the test for presence of protein. The learning indicator is to detect the presence of protein in a given food sample. Please make sure that you have all the materials with you before conducting the test. Egg white contains a lot of protein. The test for protein is called the Maillard test. This involves adding some sodium hydroxide solution to the food material and then running some very dilute copper sulfate solution down the side of the test tube. At the top of the mixture, the color changes to violet, showing that protein is present. So which of these will test positive for protein? Red in tube 1, nuts in tube 2, and grape juice in tube 3. Both the bread and nuts contain protein.
So as I perform each step, I want you to write down on your notebook practice question 11.1 on SB 16. 11.1 Perform the experiment and note down your observations. Aim to test for the presence of protein in a food item. And the materials are food items, test tubes, sodium hydroxide solution, copper sulfate solution, and a small pipette. And these are steps. First step is take the food item to be tested. Mash it to make a paste. Put a small quantity of the paste in a clean test tube. Third step is add 10 drops of water to it and shake the test tube. Fourth step is using a dropper add 2 drops of the copper sulfate solution and 10 drops of sodium hydroxide to the test tube. 5 step is shake well and let the solution stand for a few minutes. Observe the contents of the test tube. And observations are: first, crushed nuts turn the solution purple. Grape juice didn't turn the solution purple. Bread didn't turn the solution purple. And egg white turned the solution purple. Food items that turn the mixture of sodium hydroxide and copper sulfate purple contain protein. Next is conclusion. Based on my observations, I conclude that crushed nuts and egg white contain protein. So this is practice question 11.1 on SB 16. Write down on your notebook. Next practice question 13.2. Given below are steps to test the presence of proteins in food item. Take a small quantity of the food item in a test tube, add 10 drops of water to it and shake it. Next step, make a paste or powder of the food to be tested. Third step is add 10 drops of sodium hydroxide solution to the test tube and shake well. And fourth step is add 2 drops of copper sulfate solution to it. Which of the following is the correct sequence of steps? Answer number D. First we will do make a paste or powder of the food to be tested. And after that take a small quantity of the food item in a test tube, add 10 drops of water to it and shake it. And next is add 2 drops of copper sulfate solution to it. And the last step is add 10 drops of sodium hydroxide solution to the test tube and shake well. So it's question number 13.2 on SB 19. Next practice question 12.1. Perform the experiment and fill in your observations below. Aim is to test the presence of fat in a food item. Materials are food items and thin paper strips. And the 4 steps. First step is wrap the food item to be tested in a thin paper strip and crush it. Second step is ensure that the paper doesn't tear open. Third is straighten the paper and observe it carefully. And the last step is also hold the paper against light and observe it. Observations are: first, groundnut made an oily stain on the paper strip. Raw rice didn't make any oily stain on the paper strip. Dry coconut made an oily stain on the paper strip. Food items which make an oily stain on the paper strip contain fat in them. So I concluded that groundnut and dry coconut contain fat in them. So students, these are our practice questions. Today we saw how to test for proteins and fats in food items. Now we have finished our first unit of class 6. There are a lot of things that we learned. Let's do a quick recap. Chapter number 1, Unit 1. Variety in food. There is a lot of variety in food eaten across India. So we have read this. This variety in food is found around the world. Now we will do ingredients. This variety exists because of different ingredients used for making different food items. So all the different ingredients come from either plant or animal sources. Some like water and salt come from natural sources. The main sources of ingredients for our food are plants and animals. Next is herbivores, animals which eat food that come from plant sources like leaves, fruits and other plant parts are called herbivores. Carnivores, animals which eat food that come from animal sources are called carnivores. Next, omnivores, animals which eat food that come from plant sources and also from animal sources are called omnivores. Chapter 2, Unit 1, Nutrients in food. So what is nutrients? Nutrients are substances that are important for growth and maintenance of life. There are 7 types of nutrients: carbohydrates, fats, vitamins, proteins, minerals, fibers and water. Carbohydrates are nutrients that provide energy to the body. Carbohydrates and fats mainly provide energy to our body. Proteins and minerals are needed for the growth and maintenance of our body. Vitamins help protect our body against diseases. Next is balanced diet. Balanced diet provides all nutrients that our body needs in right quantities along with enough roughage and water. Next topic is deficiency diseases. Deficiencies of one or more nutrients in our food for a long time may cause certain diseases or disorders like calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, zinc, sodium, iron. Now we will do practice question 12.2 and 13.3. Complete the crossword puzzle using the clues below. So you have to solve this question yourself and revise. So this is your answer. Next question is 13.3. While in the laboratory, a few drops of iodine fell on Paheli's socks and a few drops fell on her teacher's sari. The drops of iodine on the sari turned blue-black, while their color didn't change on the socks. What can be the possible reason? And the answer is, saris generally contain starch for making them more stiff. When the drop of iodine fell on the sari, it turned blue-black because it reached to the starch present in the sari. On the other hand, Paheli's socks didn't contain any starch, and so it didn't turn the iodine drops into blue-black. Next, practice question 13.1. Fill in the blanks from the list of words given below. So these are the fill-ups A to E. First fill-up is egg yolk is rich in fats and egg white is rich in proteins. Next, deficiency diseases can be prevented by having a balanced diet. C. Eating too much of fat-rich foods may lead to a condition called obesity. And D. The component of food that doesn't provide any nutrient to our body and yet is essential in our food is roughage. And the last is the vitamin that gets easily destroyed by heat during cooking is vitamin C. So let us check our balanced diet tracker and see how we are maintaining our diet. Practice question 9.3. Complete the balanced diet tracker below. So in this table we have column on one side of days of week and other is food items. So students, it's our complete balanced diet tracker. So you read it well. So now let's check which 4 practice questions we did. SB 14 we have done. SB 15 practice question 10. SB 16 practice question 11. And last is SB 17. So we have done all these practice questions. So students, complete the practice question SB 14, SB 15, SB 16 and SB 17. This is your homework. Whatever I taught you today, you have to revise. Okay? So this is for today class. Okay, bye students and have a happy learning.